All right, about to knock another one out. I have got the owner of Simply Savage Solutions, Armando Martinez, on the Tricer Podcast today. Armando, how you doing?
What up, man? Happy to be here. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, so we have a mutual friend, Chad Riker, and Chad's like, you got to have Armando on. And I can tell why, because we were supposed to start this podcast 15 minutes ago, and we've been talking for 15 minutes off air. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chad's one of the good ones, man. So you're in good company there for sure.
yeah, man. So, 10,000 foot view. Tell me about Simply Savage Solutions. What are you guys? What do you guys do?
Right on. So Simply Savage Solutions. It's myself and my partner. I've retired from the fire department. He's still, an active duty fireman. Both arson investigators. So we came out with a product, right? When we first started, it was one product. We had no idea what it was called. We just had the product and we knew it worked. And it's funny because a buddy of ours that we mutually knew was kind of called me one day as I'm driving down the freeway, and he says, "Hey man, how's that thing you're doing?" And I'm like, "Well, it's going pretty good." And he goes, "Well, what's it called?" And I said, "Well, I don't. We really don't have a name for it yet." And he goes, "Well, what does it do?" I said, "Well, you put it on your bow and kind of just hitch it to your backpack." And he says, "Well, why don't you call it a bow hitch?" And so that's kind of how we got our product name. So when we first started with the business, we knew we wanted a business. We were going to need a business license and all the deal. So we started, and our business name is simply Savage Solutions. However, when we actually started selling our product and marketing the product, we only had one product, and that was the bow hitch. So at the beginning, it was really confusing for us to say, "Hey, we're Simply Savage Solutions, the bow hitch," just because
Yeah,
nobody knew what either of them were. So we kind of strictly went to the bow hitch. However, now we have some other products, tripod sling, rifle sling, some other stuff in the works. We're in the transition of going back to Simply Savage Solutions, makers of the
gotcha.
bow hitch. So that's kind of how that worked out. But so now we're a full on American dream business. We're a very small one at that, but we're just doing our side hustle thing and trying to make some Simply Savage solutions for the hunting community, for the outdoor community, shooting community, birding community, kind of like anybody who can run a tripod, whether it's photography or wedding photography, wildlife, whatever it is. We just want to have a nice solution for you, something that's kind of out of the box that you hadn't seen before.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. That is the American dream. I like. This is the way my mind works. So Simply Savage Solutions, three S's: shoot, shovel, shut up. So
Yep.
three.
There
I
you
like.
go.
I like the three
Yeah.
S's too. So
And,
um,
yep.
I'm not promoting shoot, shovel, shut up. Anybody, don't friggin' cancel me. Oh, shoot, shovel, shut up. Um, but I like that you can kind of play with that a little bit. The three S, three S bow hitch.
It's
So
cool, man. We've been fortunate to our branding and all that stuff kind of just works. The three S's is very, very versatile.
yeah, it is versatile. So, yeah, man, that's just kind of like one nice thing about coming on here is I get to talk to a lot of owners, and everyone has the same story, right? You just had an idea, and a lot of people have ideas, right? People come to me all the time. Very few pursue the idea, and very few get themselves so entrenched in the idea that they can't back out of it, like the bow hitch, right? Like that's people don't realize like how much work they. If it wasn't, I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for illusion, nothing would get done. So like when you think of the bow hitch, you're like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna make these things. I'm gonna sell tons of them, and then you like start making them, and you realize like, oh, this is a lot of work. But you get yourself to a point of no return, and that's kind of where you're at now, right? You got these products out there, and you're in it. You're creating other products, and you're growing a business.
It's insane, dude. We had, like you said, the one product exactly like you mentioned, and I thought those exact same things. I'm like, dude, how would somebody not want this? Like, I don't understand why
It's
this
so
wouldn't be
hard.
on every bow. Like in the next year or two, I'll retire and like all these things. Like you just you see a lot of things happening a lot sooner than they do. And then you do become entrenched. And I'm at a point now where it's kind of like the real world hits. We have some other products, and you just realize how much work it's going to take. And then you also realize, okay, it is coming, but you have to put in 10 times more work and then 10 times more work. And then it just, I won't say that it's an endless thing because I know there is an end. However, it's shit, man. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think what you don't realize is how much money Mark Zuckerberg takes for you to advertise on social media. And then you're like, oh man, it's a lot
Dude,
harder than I thought it was going to be.
everything is expensive, especially, Doug and I, we just out of our pocket, it's whatever money we had to get started. That's it.
Yep.
There's no investors. There's no angels, there's no nothing. So it's, hey man, we can afford to make, our first order was 50 bow hitches. And, we're cleaning them by hand and grinding on them and just making sure they're as nice as they can be. And, so things we order a few more now, but it's a lot, man. So kudos to, I know you have a lot of small business owners and I really appreciate that you have you know, basically a lot of people from our industry that are doing it just like you and me. We're just starting. We're all grinding. We're all very similar in the fact that, like you said, we're invested and we have to go for it. So to all of you who are out there doing that, kudos to you and keep fighting that good fight.
Oh, dude, you got to fake it till you make it. You're leveraging credit cards, do whatever you got to do to get it done. People don't see it, man. You got to pretend, you know what I mean? Like, man, my competition, if they had any idea what it was like for me the first few, they could have crushed me so fast. But now they're just like, oh, we created a monster. But like, it's like you just fake it till you make it, man. And like, you have to be like not afraid of risk. You gotta be willing to fail, man. Willing to, and you're gonna fail. You're gonna make stuff, and you're gonna be like I have products I've made, and I'm like, wow, that product wasn't good and I wasted a lot of money. But like every time you make that mistake, or I've invested money in like marketing companies that just rip me off. It's a learning mistake, right? Like some people go get $500,000 degrees. I start businesses, learn how to do things, right? Like when I started Tricer, I didn't have an Instagram. I've never run an
Yeah.
e-commerce. I come from construction, never done any of this stuff, dude. And like now I'm like a micro influencer, dude. You know what I mean? Like I got like a vlog and all this stuff. I had no idea how to do this. I'm like one of those total douchebags out here, just doing it. But like you got to fake it till you make it. You got to figure it out, man. Like it's
Yeah, dude, the billion percent. Let me sorry to interrupt, but let me just I'm gonna turn on my I thought I turned it off, but turn on my do not disturb before
yeah.
something pops up.
I did that to
Sorry
mine
about that.
already because if I don't,
Yeah.
I have an Apple Watch now. I have to take it
Uh-huh.
off because it just starts vibrating the whole time, and I'm like, you,
Oh,
you,
that's a good
you
idea.
can.
I don't have mine
I
on
take it
either.
off and I
Yeah.
throw it. Like mine's over there charging right now. I'm like, I'll just take it off
Okay.
before I go on this thing. Yeah, do not
Yeah.
disturb is money. But yeah,
Dude,
dude.
it's a yeah, the business part, like I'm loving it, man. And I same thing. I did construction before I got into the fire department. I'm back in the construction industry now. I'm a safety officer for a construction company. Um, and my Instagram was zero. I hated Instagram. I was like, Lorena, my wife, I'm like, I don't give a shit what they ate or what they did or
Yeah, I
what
know.
dude, it would drive me crazy. I don't care how good that taco looks or whatever it was, right? And it just I didn't understand why it was such a draw. And then we get the bow hitch and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to do this. And dude, same way. I remember going to the first show we ever went to try to sell the bow hitch. And there was this kid there, Diego from Main Beam Addiction. He's a local kid, but has a hat company and stuff. And so he was gonna get his 3,000th follower at that event. He's like, oh man, I'm so close. He's just a happy little kid. And I'm like, oh, good for you, dude. And he's like, you have Instagram? And I said, yeah. He's like, how many followers do you have? I said, dude, I've got like 312 followers. And so he laughed at me and I laughed at myself. And same thing though, dude. It's a grind. It's a necessary evil.
It's a necessary evil, and you figure it out. And like content is king. Like
Yes.
like one thing with me, and like you'll see with like my Instagram, it's just me posting crap on there. Like I don't have like, I have a marketing team that I pay, and I have a marketing director, but I'm just gonna be me on there. Like I told him, like I can't do like my reels are like not cut. It's not me like flashing over here and all this stuff going on music. It's like, no, this is me. Like this morning it was me sitting on a curb with a freaking heavy backpack with some chicken feed in it, just like hiking sucks. And that's all you get. But like honestly,
Yeah.
like I think there's a place for that. Like I think there's a place for Armando and Drew on Instagram because like hunters get that, dude. Like hunters are not like 13-year-old girls. You know what I mean? Like we get it. Like just real people like real stuff. So I just put my real stuff out there. That's all you're gonna get from me, man. Like I can't do better. I have people I pay now to do pictures and stuff for me, like better ones because like they got tired of me with just the phone pic. So we have like, and I just bought like I bought a lens for my camera. It's like $1,600. So I'm gonna start getting better
I
pictures,
know.
but I hate the content
Uh,
side, dude. Like this year I've got I think like 9 tags right now, and I'm just paying a kid to go film for me the whole time. It's like, hey, you come
yeah,
like whatever hunt I go on, I'm paying someone to film and to take pictures and content for it because like it ruins the hunt for me. Like I can't have Tricer ruin my love, which is hunting, right? Like I can't do that. And like having to stop and like take pictures of me glassing so I could find it's just like I don't want to do that. I want to find deer. I want to take a picture of me, take a bunch of pictures and send me a file on Google Drive or whatever it is, and then let them deal with them. But like I know content's king, but at the same time, like I can't let it ruin what I'm doing, you know?
dude, well, I'm with you 1 billion%. When I first started doing the posts, I'm getting coached by, my wife basically who had used it before. And she's like, you misspelled this and you can't put there and these
Yeah.
there's different theirs,
Me
I'm
too.
like, babe, I don't care. This is who I am. This is how I write. If like this, you're gonna get what you get. Okay. So at the beginning I tried to, do okay, this is what's important or this is what everybody else is doing. And I got to go on a show. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called The Blocks. It's like an entrepreneur show. It's somewhere between a startup accelerator and um, oh my
Shark
gosh,
Tank?
let's make a
Like we
deal.
do.
Shark
Yeah.
Tank. That's the one. Shark Tank. So super cool. Recorded all that stuff. And some of the best feedback that I got is like, hey man, your Instagram page is on point. Just be yourself. That's what people, like everybody else does their own thing. There's only one of you. And just like
Yeah.
you, there's only one Drew. And I saw that video today of you carrying the chicken feed in the back, and that's the kind of stuff that
It's all shaky in the
I
beginning.
appreciate.
It's all
Yeah,
shaky.
dude. It's but that's what we do. Like I have a bag of concrete rolled up in, plastic wrap that I put in my backpack, and it's just what it is. I hit the ditch bank, you're on the curb, it's the exact same thing. It's what 90% of, America, I think, are doing. And, some people have the nice six pack and all that stuff. And, we just get after it, dude. So, just being true to yourself. I totally agree with that. For me, I'm going to misspell stuff. I'm going to forget to tag people. I'm going to make
Yeah.
a lot of mistakes, but it's not on purpose. Like I'm a forgetful person. Um, it just happened. Like it is what it is, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm giving you 100% me and nothing, no negativity. That's probably the biggest thing. I try to not
And
do that.
honestly, that's where people are gonna like Bow Hitch, right? Because there's just some hunters making stuff, and you are like 95% of the people out there. Just a dude like with my stuff, just making a solution for to make your life easier, and other guys want to buy it. That's all it is. So let's talk about the bow. What's the Bow Hitch?
Okay, so the bow hitch, I can show you. I went and brought it over here. So the bow hitch is a. I want to show you that one because that one hasn't been released yet. But I'll just show you my. The bow hitch is a carrying solution for while you're out hunting or shooting tack. So the bow hitch is this green bracket right here. The bow hitch mounts to the outside of the sight, in between the sight and the quiver. So you saw me just take my quiver off. I install the bow hitch to the outside of the sight. On the newer bows, it goes directly to the riser. And you put your quiver on, and the bow hitch is installed. So this is the bow hitch. The way it works is you put on your backpack. There's a strap, and I can show you how it works. You put on the strap on your backpack. You slide the strap into the hitch, and it sits just like
Just
that.
hangs there.
So, dude, it just hangs there. So you're 100% hands-free when you need to be. So glassing, calling, taking the leak, checking your GPS, taking a break.
Yeah.
your bow always just hangs from your side. So an extremely simple, simply savage solution to a problem that all of us as archers have.
I like that. My motto since day one is fast, light, simple. And my partner's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, simple sounds like people might not like that." I'm like, "I don't think you understand, dude. We're dealing with simple people who want simple solutions." So you get it, man. And it is a simple,
Yeah.
it's a simple solution that fixes a problem, right? Because like bows, they're heavy. Even the lightest bows are heavy when you're carrying it all day. And those are awkward. And I like what you said too. Like you get up to a ridge and now you're like, well, let me throw my bow in the bushes so I can hold my optics, right? Or let me, you know what I mean? Like grab my optics out of my chest and not deal with trying one handed. I know they say like, oh, it's one handed bino harness. Like, okay, it's a lot easier with two hands. Like, even though it's one handed,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier
Yeah.
with two.
You're not gonna hold your binos with one hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. So you could do
No.
the whole like I do the thing where I take the bow and put the bow on top of the optics of the cam and do that. So that kind of works too. But
Uh,
I like that. You can have
yeah.
on your side, pull them out, then just flip it up, and you probably even leave it attached to that damn strap and then do it and then drop it back down. You know what I mean?
You could just roll it, dude, and then you can use both hands because the bow hitch is carrying your
Mhm.
bow, and now you're super steady with two hands on your bow. So yeah, there's a hundred different ways to use it. Every time I go to a show and somebody that's had it for a couple of seasons, they're like, "Oh, bro, let me show you. I'm doing this and this and this," and we're learning new stuff. It's a tool for whoever has it to use, and if you can improve upon it or you make something work better than what we showed you, then that's a win for the industry.
Mhm.
That's kind of the way we see it. It's make it work for you. There's a way we designed it, but there's not a wrong way. If you can make it work for you, is what we say, then cool, go get
I
it.
assume you probably take some of that feedback and put it into like V2 as well, right?
Yeah, we've learned a lot, man. We're constantly growing. Just we gotta not we haven't even become relevant, but the whole stay relevant type of thing. Like the build, measure, learn feedback loop. So we're gonna build something. You kind of get the feedback from it, and then you learn from that feedback, and then you make it again, and you just keep that cycle going. So we're definitely improving and learning every day.
Now, give me the origins of this and where it came from. How did it get designed?
So the origins, the theory behind it was a different system. Doug and I were on a hunt together in this super super steep country, and it was the first time I ever hunted with Doug on an archery hunt. Ever hunted together. So I got there at like 2 3 in the morning. I had just gotten out of work at a late shift, so I got there in the middle of the night, found his camp. Uh, we get up, hour and a half, 2 hours later. He's like, "Okay, this is the country. This is the way it works. I'm gonna go this way. You go that way, and I'll see you later." So we're hunting all day. We split up. I'm hunting by myself. He's hunting by himself. We're kind of in the same area, and so around 2 o'clock or so, we meet up, and we start talking. And I just see his bow is kind of just hanging there, and I'm like, "Dude, how is your bow doing that?" And so he showed me, "Oh, I do this and this," and so I'm like, "Holy smokes!" And I was like, that's genius. Like that theory of not having to carry your bow is like insane because I've owned every other bow carrying system that has ever been invented. Like, because carrying your bow sucks. That's our slogan. Carrying your bow sucks. So uh, it's a true statement. So when I saw what he had done there, it was an immediate in my brain like, wow, this is so cool. So I asked him about it, and he said, well, you know, I've had it for years, don't ever, and have never done anything with it. Just so I'm like, Doug, you got to take that, and do something with it. That's really special. And so we finish hunting. Nothing happens. Nothing goes on. So the next hunting season comes around. I'm like, hey, Dougie, did you do anything with that thing that you
Mhm.
have? And he's like, no, we haven't done nothing. So finally, year two comes around. I'm like, Dougie, you done anything? He's like, no, I'll never do anything with it. So I said, well, if you don't do anything by next year, I would love to take that concept and run with it if you want to do something with me. And so he did. He's like, man, if you think we could do something with it, then let's do it. So, we, had a conversation, thought about it, and then ended up shaking hands and saying, okay, well, let's see if we can make a go at this and try to figure something out. And so, you know, we shook hands and both went our separate ways and started coming up with ideas. And like many other things, man, the napkin on the kitchen table, you know, I had a napkin and I said, okay, this is what's wrong with the current model. What could we do to change it? These are the two things I don't like. There was two things I didn't like about it. How can I change each one of them? And just, dude, and I can't draw, I can't spell, I can't sing, I can't dance. Like, I'm the most untalented, unartistic person on the planet. So I drew this thing that kind of looks like a bow hitch on this napkin, and I'm like, I think this could
Dude,
work. Like,
I know
the
the
concept,
concept. This is awesome.
dude, the concept is, this is money. Like, this is gonna work. So I'm like freaking out about it. I'm like, shit, dude, this is actually gonna work. So put the napkin away, tell Doug. I think the next weekend I had a like some sort of a party with some of my family members, and I'm telling one of my uncles about it, and he's like, "Well, you need to get with your cousin Joseph because he that's what he does. He does CADs and he's a computer guru and all this stuff." And so I went and chased down my cousin Joseph and told him what I was working on, and he said, "Send me some dimensions and I'll draw it up for you." So he put a CAD system, a CAD drawing together, dude, like within the next couple of days. um, and and he puts it together, and he says, "Dude, can you come to my house?" So I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So I drive to his house. He has it 3D printed for me. I've never seen a 3D printer. Like, I didn't know how they
They're so
worked. Like,
slick,
none
dude.
of
They make
that. So he,
prototyping so much
dude,
better
it's
than machining, so much cheaper.
in
Yeah,
insane. So he 3D prints it. I have it on my bow. I tell him, okay, we need to tweak this and this and this. And so essentially, the first bow hitch was made pretty dang
that's
quick.
awesome. Now, I come from a sheet metal background. I just left after 24 years. Um, so I
Okay,
see, is it aluminum? 14
14
gauge
gauge
steel.
steel.
Okay. And then are you guys lasering those
Yes,
or turret punching them?
laser.
Yeah,
Right
so
now we're
I had a
lasering them.
laser in my family's business. I put a laser in, so I'm very familiar with that. I'm like, I see that. I'm like, I can make those for you. Um, so yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
let's do
no,
it. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not there anymore. But yeah, no, I
Okay,
see it. So
yeah.
yeah, so you're
Well,
lasering it out, probably tumbling it, and then you're two bends, and then you're just
one
one bend
bend
and
powder
powder coat.
coat.
Okay, bitch. Yeah, it's a slick little deal.
Yep.
Slick little thing, man.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to it, man. Which is the beauty of it, right? They say genius has the fewest
Yeah,
moving
it's
parts.
simple is the hardest thing to
And
design. I tell
so,
people all the time, like you don't understand. Making
yeah,
something light and
yeah,
skeletonizing something is the hardest thing you could do. And people are like, "Why is it so
yeah.
expensive? It weighs 4 ounces." And it's like, dude, you have no idea what it took to get something to like anyone can make a freaking 2-pound panhead. Try and make something that weighs 4 ounces that does
Uh-huh.
it. Try and make something that's simple. You know, anyone can make some contraption that goes on there and hooks onto a bow. But to make one part, a simple thing that's like, I tell you right now, I look at your bow hitch and I'm like, that's gonna work every single time. And there's
Yeah,
nothing going on. I hate moving parts. It's not going to have any issues with my bow. It's not going to go into my string. It's not going to fold over. I don't have to worry about moving it around or locking something in. It's just simple.
that's it, man. We get people all the time trying to get us to over engineer it and to do this and do that. But like one concept that Doug and I really like to keep front and center is just the simplicity.
I
KISS,
use that
keep it
expression
simple,
all the
stupid.
time.
Like,
Love it.
for yeah. So for us in the fire department, like when we go in and you're working in just the toughest environments you can, the last thing you want to do is have to think about how to
Mhm.
use a tool. And that's for us who did it, all the time. Like, we were fortunate. We were in a very busy department. And so our training and reps were pretty high. So we were used to doing a lot of these things. But you take that and you put that into the hunting world. There's some people who pull out their bow in August and are elk hunting
Mhm.
September 1st, and they don't practice, and so they don't know how to do many, many, many things. That being said, when we developed, the bow hitch, we needed it to be something that you don't think about. You just do it. It's like all I have to do is slide the bow hitch off, you know. So this is our strap here. all we do is get the strap from your backpack, slide it into the bow hitch,
Done.
and it sits there just like, that's it, dude. And then when it's time to shoot, you slide it
You're
off
shooting.
and you're shooting. So we do not want to over-engineer that, because that's one of the most beautiful things about the bow hitch is you don't have to think about it.
And how do you feel it carries?
Oh, let me show you. So our strap here, every bow hitch comes with a strap. Our bow hitch is made in the U.S. Our straps are sewed here in the U.S., powder coated. So that's something that we're very proud to be able to put that label on there. Get my chair out of the way and I'll show you. But so the strap has a gated buckle. All we do is come above some webbing on our load lifters where there's a stitch going across. You snap in your buckle.
I love those gate buckles.
Oh, dude, they're so strong.
Is that an initial scent pack?
Yeah, kicking my.
I just had them on the podcast. Awesome dudes.
Those are my boys, man. Yeah, I've learned a lot from them as far as business goes. They've been fantastic to us. So, yep, this is my initial scent pack. You just get your backpack on. Bow hitch is on your bow already. This end has a loop. All I do is slide it into the bow hitch.
And you're hiking.
Dude, so you're out hiking. When I'm hiking, I keep my hand on the riser just like this. That way, if I come up and over any debris,
you got it.
My hand's already on it. However, stop, glass call, GPS, take a leak, whatever it is, like you're not looking for that.
You're not using your bow to like push trees out of the way and like all the stuff I do.
Dude, it's no, you're not. So it's awesome. You can protect, you can move
and
it
it's
around.
Not going to fall off because you kind of got it keyed, so it's not going to fall off. So literally, if you're just listening to this podcast, it just hooks onto your shoulder strap of your backpack, and there's like a loop on the bow hitch that attaches to your bow, hooks onto that, and your bow's just right there on you, so you can glass. Really slick design. What do you think about
That's it, dude. Time to
counterweights?
shoot.
Are you having to counterweight your bow at all for that? 14 gauge steel?
No, this one right here weighs 3 ounces, 3.05 ounces. So because it's so centered, we have not had anybody come back and say, hey, the weight of my bow is doing this and that. You're really throwing it off because it is so centered. If we had 3 ounces on the end of our bow somewhere, that's totally different. But because it's right here by your hand, strongest part, you're not. It's not doing anything. So we could run it right here. You could run it right off your bino harness, the side of your backpack strap if you needed to. Any 1 inch or less webbing, we'd be able to.
So I assume that you went steel because the aluminum probably bent. Yeah, I assume you went aluminum first and then went steel. I understand it because, like I said, I come from that industry, right? Millions of pounds of steel a year. I understand why you'd go steel with that design, not aluminum, because especially with that keyed design right there, you're going to get bending, you're going to get play. Steel is a lot more. It holds its structure a lot better. And it's only 3 ounces. That's not really nothing.
It's 3 ounces, dude. So for not carrying your bow the rest of the hunt,
and you don't find. Let's talk about this. I know people are asking these questions. I'm going to ask you dummy questions that you're getting all the time. It's not in your way of like your release or anything when you shoot.
No, let me show you how.
Dry fire it real quick for me.
So let me show you something real quick. So there it is. This is a tight spot quiver.
That's what I'm running.
This is an attachment for
same
the tight spot.
Quiver I have.
So all you're going to do is, so you just take the 2 screws from your quiver off of your sight. You get the bow hitch. You slide your quiver back on.
Mm-hmm.
Tighten it up. It's installed.
And it's actually hidden like right next to your. Okay? It's so right next to your arrows. Wow.
Dude, you can't. Yeah, the best analogy for this is it's like a doorstop. You put it on your door like one of the small door stops on the bottom of your door. You put it on your door. You use it when you need it. When you don't need it, you never know it's there. But when you need it, you're like, damn, I'm really happy I have that. But it's so there's 3 different sizes that would be something that you would maybe get to. So this is a small on my particular setup. If I had the large bow hitch, it would come out past my string, and then it could become an issue with your
Okay.
release. However, we do have 3 different sizes to make sure that that does not
Okay.
become an
And what
issue.
bow are you running right there?
So this is the PSE Stealth
Okay.
Mach 1
Okay. And so
carbon.
now these things are pretty, they're not bow specific because they just mount to your sight, right? So they're pretty much just, are they bow specific or?
They're not bow specific. They're fairly universal. So the way it works is there's 3 holes. Let me grab another one.
That makes sense. You just punch a bunch of holes in the thing and you can put them wherever.
So this is our custom. This is an Elk Bros edition, but you can see the 3 holes here. Where the small starts is the bottom of the hole here, and then there's a medium. There's 3 holes here. The large starts from here and goes down. So depending on what size you get, the further out the bow hitch sticks towards your D
I got
loop.
you.
So
Super slick.
that's the way that works. Slick. So yeah, so they came out great. So when you're ready to order, you measure from where your quiver attaches to your sight, which on my bow is right here, from where your quiver attaches to your sight to the last arrow in your quiver. And that will tell us what size of bow hitch we need. And because we have 3 different holes in each bow hitch, we have an inch of.
So since I have a tight spot, I probably want the small.
No, you'll want to take a measurement just because everybody's brace height is different, everybody's sight is different. Like it's almost impossible for us to say, to have a running list of every setup, just because the type of things we see on bows still blows my mind.
All right. Now that's the bow hitch. I wanted to get into hunting. I thought we were going to do a whole podcast on products, which is cool too. We'll get into hunting at the end here. So you also have some.
Let me.
You got some other stuff other stuff too, which I saw was really sick. You've got a rifle sling, which I thought was like really rad because rifles suck to carry. When you're carrying a pack, you're constantly having to hold the thing on. I've got like one of those hooks on my pack now where I can hook it into there so it stays in there. I run in a rifle scabbard. I find that's really nice, but it's not as easily accessible.
Yep.
I really do like the Everly Sock scabbard though. But now tell me about is it called the rifle hitch, I imagine?
So that one is called the solution. So carrying your rifle is the problem. Okay. We have the solution. That's where we got that one from. So it's basically a safari sling style that we've adapted to work with the rifle. I'll get to that one in a second because that one is downstairs. I thought I had it up here. It's downstairs. So I would love to show you, especially
let me see it.
The tripod carrying the tripod sling, dude. So get ready for this because you're gonna love it. So as you know, carrying your tripod also sucks. I don't care how light it is at a certain point. If you're carrying a rifle or you're guiding a hunter or you got your 15s and your spotting scope and you got all these other goodies, it just sucks carrying an extra something that you don't have to. So all 3 of our systems, this is going to be for the rifle sling as well, the solution, but they're going to run off of your load lifter strap, just like the bow hitch strap has a loop in it. So we add, just like you said, this gated buckle. Going to snap it in. That's our female end. And then our strap here on our tripod. Let me get this. Snap it in, and that's with all 3 arms.
So it just wraps around all 3 legs of the tripod. That makes more sense. Okay, I was looking at it earlier. Okay, so that makes sense. So you just basically wrap it around the tripod, put it on there, and you carry your tripod right next to you. I like that.
Correct. So when we want to take our tripod off, all we do is unbuckle, and then this is another buckle that we loosen up.
So it's on one leg, and then it wraps. That makes sense. I was like, okay, it's one leg. How the tripod not going to open? Okay, that makes more sense. It's one leg, and then it wraps around all 3
one leg
to lock it in. So if you're listening to this, you might be saying, well, why would I want to do that? I put my tripod on my backpack, which I do as well most of the time. But I can tell you, when I hunted in New Mexico, I carried the tripod the whole time because it's such open country. when we hunted oddad down there, we would hike 100 yards and you get a whole different view. And we carry the tripods the whole time. We go a quarter mile. We put, you weren't, and you almost, you're a very mobile. I think it's almost a style in New Mexico. It's a very mobile glassing state. Everybody I went down there's like more than I've ever done. I've actually incorporated that into some of my style over here as well. So you're doing a lot of moving and not having to take your pack off. Now you can take it out, put it up, glass off it. I like it.
1,000% how I hunt. So with this, with your tripods, you'd be able to leave your legs fully extended, come up, drop it, put whatever binos you have, glass, and if you don't see nothing, all you have to do is swap it to the side, and you're ready to hike again.
You're leaving it hooked up.
You're not wasting the time because
okay.
you can leave it hooked up, or if I wanted to, all I do is unbuckle, and I have it sitting next to me. So the option is yours, however you want to do it. But for as many times, when you're hunting the desert, there's a knob. You're not going to take the time to put the tripod in your backpack. Mm-hmm. It's just very inefficient. So I can get to a spot, glass.
That's cool.
It's as simple as that, dude. I could pull out my binos if I didn't want to. I typically leave the big binos on the tripod. And that way, when I stop, it's already set up, and I'll glass and I'll burn, 10, 15 minutes. And then if I don't see what I like, then I keep moving. Yeah. So that's the tripod one has been a game changer. So when I'm guiding hunters, the big Faisal tripods or the big, heavy shooting tripods that I've had to use in the past, it's just so much easier because of all the other stuff you got to carry with you. It's been a godsend to
other companies make tripods
right there for you.
I'm sure just
believe it or not, that's why yours stands out, dude. I was listening to your podcast with Olin.
Yeah, we had fun.
And it's just such it's so accurate, different business owners, like we all need each other to improve the game. Like so without them starting something, you wouldn't have been able to make it better. And without us making this, somebody won't make the next best thing to
Nate's a really good dude.
Another
We're
option.
Go to Mexico together, hunt coos deer in January. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, nice. That was a great podcast, man. Very awesome product.
Nate a
so
lot.
kudos to them for.
So you've got the Bow Hitch. You've got is that called the tripod hitch? What's that called?
Yeah, that's just a tripod sling. We couldn't think of anything clever yet, so we didn't want to name it anything too off of tripod, and we couldn't think of anything clever enough, and nobody has a tripod sling, so
I called the
cool with that.
Call it the Trich because carrying your tripod is a. There you go.
Yeah. Hey,
when you say it like there's my firefighter construction jokes for you guys. You guys get it.
I dig it. Yeah. I could if you want to take a quick pause, I could run downstairs and grab the
go.
Rifle.
I'll actually just pause right here and you can go do it. Let me pause it. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
And we're back.
So right here, I have the rifle stock, and it's a lot easier to travel with this and to show this at shows without getting people freaked out. So it is just a rifle sling for rifle stock for demonstrations. So looks like your traditional stock, or it is a traditional stock, looks like your standard rifle sling. It works off the same premise, off of the Bow Hitch strap.
So one strap can do it all. One strap, bow season, archery season.
Anytime you order something, you get another strap with whatever it is you order. However, it's technically the same strap. So right now, you can see I'm not carrying the rifle. This is a floating buckle, so meaning I can move it up or down. So right here, it's very well balanced. This is why I say it's quasi safari style sling, because it's always ready. And now I can come up and shoot without ever taking it off.
Oh, you shoot with it
you can,
like that.
or
Okay,
if you need
I got you.
if you
So
needed to
this
put it on a
sneaker's
tripod, you unbuckle,
unclip it,
put it on your tripod, you're ready to go. Um,
and you can still carry it like a traditional sling if you want to
yeah,
as
I
well.
mean, traditional slings suck. However, if you needed to, you absolutely could. Um, but the cool thing of so
So it
you
just
just
straps right
buckle it
on.
in, hunter in front of you, going through some debris, something like that's going on. You just slide this up, barrel is up and out of the way. Yeah, so
I
just
like that.
safety,
I like
safety
that. I like
first
that. Yeah, that's
always.
really cool.
And then should you need to come up, you can actually, without ever adjusting it, you can come up and just push through and get to your firing position. Yeah,
That's
so
really slick. So you can just
yeah.
put it right on there. Yeah, you guys. Another motto for you guys could be like Simply Savage Solutions. We make strap-ons.
there's a little bit more of that fireman coming out.
Yeah, yeah. Strap.
We'll get you
We'll get you
strapped
strapped on. Whatever you
on.
got.
We'll strap it to
Whatever you
you.
got. I should preface, I'm not a fireman. Armando's a
Let's
fireman, so I'm
clarify
making
that. Let's
fireman
clarify.
jokes. I have a bitchin' fireman mustache, but
Yeah,
I'm not a fireman.
that's
I
pretty
get it
good
all the
one,
time
dude.
though.
That's a pretty good one.
I don't want to have like anyone fake valuing me on the internet, getting canceled for fake valor on the fireman.
Yeah,
But yeah, Simply Savage Solutions. They got all kinds of good one-liners
I'll
for you
take
guys,
them.
man.
I'll take them. But yeah, man. So this is
Yeah, that's bitchin'. I
yeah,
really like that one a lot. I like the way I like that you were to push it down
yeah.
and have it
This
straight
is
up
this
as
is
well. That was one of my concerns when I saw it earlier. It's cool to see it like in person like this, right? It's one of the things so hard to sell things on the internet
oh,
because like you can't see it, but you do that and I'm like, oh,
dude,
that just makes sense. You know what I mean?
try
Now,
trying to sell a bow hitch when there's nothing been like it.
yeah,
The concept is not there. The the proficiency in me to try to explain it is not very good. So it was just so many strikes against us right away. But when we show up at TAC or at Mountain Archery Fest or any of these shows, people see it and they're like, "Oh man, okay, okay, I love that."
yeah.
So
Are you guys gonna be at
we will
Big Sky Tech?
be in Park City, in the yeah. So I'll
I'll be
see
at
you
Park
there.
City. I have a booth. I have a booth at Park City. I'll be at Big Sky. I don't have a
Okay,
booth. I'm just going up there to hang out. It'll be fun. I'm gonna do that one, and then I'm gonna stay up there for a week. I bring my dirt bike. I'm gonna go riding up there. I'm excited.
very
Bring a
cool.
mountain bike. So I'll be gone. I leave on Tuesday. I'll be gone for 14 days.
You're living
So
right, dude. Good for you.
it'll be
I'm really happy for
it'll
you,
be
man.
fun.
Like you put in the work and you came out with the killer product and you've been you've done the time. You put in the work. I don't know how else to say it other than I'm really happy for you and it's an aspiration. So kudos.
Well, the cool thing is with Tricer or Bow Hitch is once you have inventory, you can run these things from anywhere. So you get a Starlink. I can do my work from anywhere. I'm not going to podcast. Like I'm doing 6 podcasts this week. I'm done through August now
Nice.
because I'm going to be gone so much. I'll be gone a few weeks in July too. But I can get on a computer and get on Teams meetings and Zoom calls anywhere in the world. So who cares if I'm out in the middle of I'm going to go to Yellowstone. I'm going to go fish in Idaho. Like I could do that from anywhere. Run it. You know what I mean? Put some hours in every day. Um, it is quote unquote a work meeting. I'm going to be meeting with all the other companies. I'm going to be shooting with people. I'm going to Ryan Lamper's thing
Cool.
for 4 days or 5 days. The Western Hunting Summit archery thing. So it is work because people don't understand like it is work, right? And like hunting is work for me. Like the way I design products is not in an office; it's in the field, right? Like the Tricer JC was designed in the field last year. The BP was designed in the field, so I have to run all these prototypes, spend time behind them. So if that means I have to go hunt 100 days this year, I guess I'm gonna do it.
Somebody's got to
So
do it, man. Somebody's got to
somebody's
do
got to
it.
do it, and
Yeah.
I'll take the bullet.
Yeah.
I'll go
So
hunting. So that's rad, dude. I'm stoked for you guys. That's awesome. So 3 products. Is there anything else, or is
dude,
that
I
that's three
have
right now?
one that I can. I'm on the provisional patent. I'll finish it as soon as we get off of this. I have like the last 2 pages to fill out. I'm ecstatic about it, dude. Like I can't even tell you. Like I love these
Yeah.
products. Like the bow hits, right? I figured, okay, you stumble upon one good thing, like everybody gets that one aha thing, and we capitalized on it, and it's going really well, and we're very proud of it. However, this next thing, I I'm freaking like almost even nervous about it. Like I can't wait for it to come out because it's going to bring a storm with
Yeah,
it. And I would love to talk to you
that's fun.
offline about that because
Yeah, I wanna hear about it because Chad told me, he's like, "Oh, you gotta talk to what he's making. I can't tell you what it is, but I'm sure
uh,
he'll show you." So, like, I wanna see it because, like, I'm the same way, dude. Because like, I've brought, like, 15 new products to market this year, and I've got, like, 10
yeah,
more in the works right now, and, like, I it eats me alive, like, some of the stuff that I can't show people that I'm like, I know people are gonna I have a new thing called the Tricer DZ that is gonna blow people's minds, and I just wanna release it because it's just like it's just cool, and I'm like, I know when you guys see it,
yeah,
you're gonna love it, and those are the best products. When you create one of those, you're like, I know you're gonna love it. Like, I know this is good. Like, you make it and you're like, I this works. This works. And it's so cool when you get to a point where it's like, it worked, and you get a physical thing in your hand. Like, I got some prototypes in today for some new stuff coming out with the Tricer on, and then like Tricer AA and some other stuff. And I'm just like, this
yeah,
works for freaking. This
dude.
is a no brainer. Like,
Uh,
it's just so
it's
such
the
a good feeling.
best. So, like you were talking, you mentioned Chad. When I went to his house, I explained it to him a little bit, and I'm like, Chad, you're gonna dig it, dude. So I'm telling him about it, and so I purchased a sight from him. I won a bow in a raffle. Anyway, side story. I won a bow in a raffle, and I bought a sight from him. So I went to his house, and I said, I'm gonna bring you something to prototype and to check it out. And so I took it to him, and finally, after we did all our wheeling and dealing with the other stuff, I said, "Well, let's go." You know, he told me, "Well, go show me what you got." So I showed it to him, and just the look on his face is like, "Are you kidding me? Like, that's it? That's how it works? Like, how simple?" And it's another no-brainer, dude. Another Simply Savage solution that the cool thing about it is like it's not like the bow hitch because I don't have to explain it. I don't have to show you how the rifle hit, the solution works. I don't have to show
Mhm.
you how the tripod thing works. This one you're like, duh. Like I need to have that.
Yeah,
So I can't
yeah.
wait, dude.
Yep. I just told that on. I talked to Chad today on a podcast with him, and one of my hardest things about selling my original products is people had to learn, you
The
had to teach people.
education. Yeah.
And the reason why my stuff today sells like hotcakes is it's just a no brainer. You're like, oh, that tripod works. Oh, that pan. It's just like, so it's really like, um, you could sell good products, but great products sell themselves. So my goal is always to create great products that will sell themselves. Because like when it comes to marketing, if you're having to market a school like learning, you can't sell a product. It's so
Sure.
hard, man. And like I'm not saying you can't sell the Bow Hitch. Bow Hitch is selling. You're getting there, but when you have to pay for education and then pay for selling, it makes it a lot harder. Where like, but like you said, like you bring them out in person and they're showing, they see it, they're like, I'll buy 4 of them, right? I mean, you hold it in your hand, it just makes sense. You buy it, you do it. But it's yeah, when you have products that just sell themselves, it's those are the
Yeah,
best
dude,
products.
that's exactly what we've been going through. So like this year we went to Western Hunt Expo in Utah, and all the people
Mhm.
that go through there, like I needed 20 people helping me out in the booth because everybody's interested in it, but I can't, like there's only so much of me and Doug to tell so many people. So the ones we got to show, they all bought it, but that's only so many people in the day that I can talk to. So the education
Yeah,
part has been uh, 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 I wouldn't even call it a hurdle. It's just been a part of our experience in growing. Like that's something that we're
you
learning
learn,
to
yeah.
deal with, and the more people get it, and the more reviews we get, and the more YouTube videos people put out, like the better it is for us. It's just
That's what
part of
really
the
helps.
process.
How many we'll be at Western Hunt Expo, we'll be at all the are you going to any of the hunt extravaganzas in
No, we
Texas?
haven't hit Texas
We'll
not
be
yet.
we'll be at
Okay.
all those. We just picked up a big rep from over there. We'll be at all those shows in August. We'll be at SHOT Show, all that stuff. So I'm just curious, you don't have to at Western Hunt Expo, it's gonna help sell your stuff. How many of those things did you sell? The bow hitch.
I want to say we sold probably. I want to say the number was like 80 bow hitches.
So that means so people when they that means they hold it and they're
Yes.
buying it. Like that my point with that is like when people those guys who held it bought it, right? That's a freaking ton of sales for a couple days for that thing. And it's like my point is like if you're listening to this, if you go to a show and you see it, you're probably gonna buy it. Like you should buy this thing. You should just go online and buy it, try it. You guys have a pretty good return policy on this stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if someone brings it in, they don't, as long as they don't like scratch it. I hate the guy that like buys it and then like I've had some dudes, and if you listen to this podcast and you're this guy that bought my stuff, ran it for a hunt for a month and a half, and then wanted to return it because they just bought it and they wanted a tripod and then didn't want to pay for it. But so I'm assuming as long as they buy it and don't like beat the crap out of it, they can
A
give it back to
thousand
you.
percent. And you know, the way we have it now is just 100%, you know, uh, satisfaction guaranteed. Like you're gonna buy it, you're gonna use it, and like it doesn't make sense not to use it. So we had
Mm-hmm.
one at one archery shoot come back, and the guy bought it was a bright orange one, um, that he actually didn't buy. He took it out on a demo because we typically, anytime we go to a 3D shoot, we take a bunch of these bright orange bow hitches, and we want people to use it if they're on the fence. I'm like, dude, take it out for free. Go try it. If you like it, you can come buy one. If not, cool, no harm, no foul. So he went out, he took it. He's like, I just can't do it. So I'm like, dude, give me some feedback. Tell me what you don't like about it. And he goes, well, I love the way it carried the bow, and that was really nice. He's like, but I just don't like it. So I said, well, like, give me something that you don't like about it. And he really couldn't be too specific with it. So he goes, I don't know if it was the color and it was too bright and it just stuck out and started to bug me right away, but I don't know what I didn't like about it, but I didn't like something, and it boiled down to the color. I don't know if he was trying to be nice or like didn't couldn't explain to me
Mm-hmm.
what he didn't like about it, but no, man, like for me personally, like I would like to show you my product. I don't want to sell you anything. If you want to buy it, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I learned this early on because at the beginning, when I had no idea about selling a product or owning a business or, you know, like everything was so new to me. The first big show we went to, there was three other bow carrying systems that were there. They're all been established. They've all been selling stuff for a long time, and they were all there. They all had really nice spots at the event we were at, and we were literally next to the shitters. And for for this 4 day event, dude, like right next to the shitters, and we didn't sell it. We didn't sell one bow hitch until 1 in the afternoon on the first day. So I was like sick to my stomach. I'm like, man, maybe this isn't really cool. You know, maybe everybody who's tried them out before is just being nice. Like I thought I was having the ugly baby syndrome to where, you know, it's an ugly kid and it looks like an alien and everybody still tells you, oh, your baby's beautiful. Like I thought that was happening with the bow hitch. And so long story short, we didn't sell anything. Finally, 1 o'clock we started selling, and then every day it progressed and started to get better. And so I came home from that event and I was pretty bummed out. And another business owner told me, he's like, dude, if you could go and make your money to just pay for your trip, that's a success. You're not going to sell to everybody. Not everybody's going to buy
Mm-hmm.
it the first time they see it. I didn't know that there was so many touches that need to be had on certain products before they make a purchase. Like, you know, um, he said, you know, just educate them on what you have. You don't want to force it on them. Like they'll buy it when they're ready to buy it. And so for
Mm-hmm.
me to have a peace of mind of knowing I'm not going to sell 200 units, like that shouldn't be the intention of my show. All of us want to go, we want to sell out, we want to make a bunch of money. That's great. I should be able to go and Andrew, this is what I have, dude. Let me show you how it works. Let me show you the ins and outs. Excuse me. Let me answer any questions you have. And this is what we have, dude. If you want to take something,
That's it.
take it, you know, but I'm not selling you anything. So it was a learning curve for me because I thought we were just going to go out and just crush it right away, you know, and everybody would see the bow hitch and it would make sense. Like, this is a no brainer. Why wouldn't you? I don't understand why you would want to carry your bow. For
Mm-hmm.
$55, why would you carry your bow? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking like this just I don't understand what I'm doing wrong to not sell to these people. And my mentation has changed. My mentality changed so much to where now I will show you what we have. If you like it, great. I'm happy to install it, put it on, show you all the tips and tricks. But um, I'm a showman, not a salesman. Like I'm just going to show you what we have and answer your questions, dude. I don't
Yeah, that's all you
I don't
can
want to
do.
sell anybody anything because when you say I'm taking my hard-earned money and I'm giving it to you, it's because you made a choice and you wanted to do it because you see the value in our equipment, not because
Yep.
I convinced you that it was cool. I don't. I just gosh, it makes me sick to think that I just don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, man, and you learn too. Like it used to eat me alive, like getting bad reviews from people, or you have to learn like, oh wait a minute, a lot of these guys who give bad reviews have a some sort of affiliation with some of these other companies,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
and so they're just gonna knock you, right? And then some people are just gonna be dicks. Like sometimes you're gonna get guys that are just gonna say something just to say it, right? Like I was on Rock Slide recently, and this guy's like, there's a whole thread on like what panhead should I buy, and every dude's like, buy Tricer, buy Tricer, buy Tricer, buy Tricer. And then this guy's like, the guy who's posting, he's like, well, I've just heard bad things about him. And I'm like, dude, I just messaged him back, go, hey, here's my link to my site. There's 300 reviews, like 5-star, all confirmed purchases. Like, I don't know where you heard bad things, but it's not the truth, man. I don't know what you like, but it's just like sometimes people just want to just say something to say something. You know, they want to find something. Like I've had guys like the off the like the OP is perfection. I mean, it really is that panhead. You'd have to try really hard to find something to make it if you don't like it. And there's like one dude out there who has affiliation with another company who's like managed to like put a video out and like, and now I realize it was a hit piece, right? But like some of the stuff he said in the video, which wasn't even true, people have taken for granted. Honestly, at the end of the day, like I don't care. Like if you don't want to buy my stuff, go buy an outdoorsman, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Cool, they make great stuff. Like buy something else from me, whatever. You know, like if you don't like the bow hitch, maybe you'll like our rifle sling. If
Yeah,
you don't like that, maybe you'll like our tripod. Like there's not every person's gonna like everything I make, right? And it's really hard. You as a businessman, you have to be able to disconnect yourself from it and like let someone call your kid ugly,
dude.
right?
Yeah,
Like people are gonna,
it's
and some
hard to
guys just
do.
want to be.
Yeah,
It's really hard to do, and some guys just want to be keyboard warriors and just want to like say stuff, right? It's just whatever it is, what it is.
yeah,
A
man.
lot of times, guys will do stuff and like you're like, have you even held it before? No.
Yeah,
Then why are you putting facts on the internet?
dude.
You know what I mean?
Dude, that's I made the mistake of looking it up before bed one time, and I found a thread that I'd never seen before, right? And it was the same
On Rockside,
on I don't remember what forum it was. It might no, it was archery talk.
Archer Talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was just people saying, why the bow hitch was dumb because it's strapped to your backpack and they want to be readily accessible and able to shoot whenever they want to. They don't want it strapped in. And so
What
just
do you do? Have your arrow
dude
knocked the whole time you're
dude,
hunting?
so many things saying why it sucks. However, if you saw how it worked, you would know that that's not the case. So just like you said, it's
Yep.
people who, oh, I heard it sucked. Oh, I heard, he's a douchebag. Oh, I heard whatever. Like I heard doesn't count. Like, if you've seen it and you've used it and you don't like it and you have something to justify why, then hey man, nobody bats 1,000 in this industry. That's why there's 10 different bow carrying systems, 10 different tripods. Like we all do something a little bit different and we all
Mm-hmm.
improve, on one another. So I'm not going to sell to 100% of people. And like for me, that was a learning curve, to where, hey, some people are going to like this guy's thing and that guy's thing and this one, and then some will like mine. And at the end of the day, when people leave these TACs or these mountain archery fests or whatever these 3D shoots I go to, I would say probably 90% of them still carry their bow. And I'm like, dude, this entire market and we hit 10% divided by three of us, like it just I don't know, man, it leaves a lot to learn and it's like, well, I didn't educate enough people today because they're still carrying their bow, So it's I don't know. It's pretty cool, man. I'm really learning to enjoy the business part of it and kind of see what makes people tick and there's a lot to it, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and you learn how to like. now, like I used to like delete comments and now I'm just like I don't care comment like it's just like whatever I think it's funny some of them sometimes it's just like a dude just like dude I put a picture of me a video this morning of me like and I got a 50-pound pack and I'm just talking about how much it sucks and this guy's just like that's not even a heavy pack I carry 60 pounds on my sheep hunts and I'm like I just responded like I can do football over those mountains you know
you
what I mean
hit him
like
with
come
Uncle
on like
Rico. Yeah,
let's go, Superman. Like I'm just like, carrying a 50-pound pack for 6 miles, 1,500 elevation. I do it because it's easy. It just sucks. Like I'm not doing it to like say I'm a badass. I'm just saying it because like it sucks, man. But people just like to comment.
yeah,
Everyone on the internet's a freaking hiking mountains and super shape and kills everything they shoot at, right?
yeah.
And
Facts,
you know what I mean? Like
facts.
they're all 1,000-yard shooters, never miss a shot. Like me, I'm just honest, like dude.
Yeah,
So if people want to be dicks, they're gonna be dicks. I don't care. If you don't like my stuff, don't buy it. If you like it, buy it. You're gonna find most guys that buy my stuff love it.
yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
think people like the Bow Hitch too. It's a great product. We like to end this podcast with a hunt story, dude. You're also a guide, which we didn't even get into. So we should have you come back on and not talk Bow Hitch, which will
yeah,
be really hard. I can't not talk business owners. I love it, especially in this hunting space. But give me a hunting story, dude. Any story. It could be like your best animal. It could be like your first animal. It could be grandpa's deer. It doesn't matter, man. Just a good story. Remember one that sticks out.
oof.
Campfire.
Campfire. Okay, so this one's pretty quick. This is a good one. So my best friend James, him and his son drew a tag. So it's a late season cow tag down in the Gila, Southwest and Southwest New Mexico. That's our home. Well, I'm from New
Uh-huh.
Mexico, so we get this late season tag. We're cruising around. There's some snow on the ground. We're looking, we're glassing. We're not finding any animals. We change locations. We're not finding any animals. We only have 2 days to hunt. It's just, it's been tough, man. And, kind of in the later seasons, they're typically herded up pretty good. So when you find them, you
Yeah,
find a bunch of them, right?
had a
And
bunch of them.
and when you don't find them, you ain't seen nothing. And so we're not seeing anything. And so we climb to the top of this mesa and we get to the top and see some tracks. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get out here and kind of check this out, see what we could see around here. And so I'm looking, and I find this water hole in on Onyx, and I'm looking. I say, well, let me walk over here a little bit, so everybody kind of meanders the exact same way, and I stumble across this giant bear track, dude. Fresh, just giant bear track, snow on the ground. I'm like, dude, what is it like? It just didn't seem like, I don't know, it was out of place in the snow, the time of the year and everything. And he was just this giant track. So we're looking at this track. I show the guys, and there's elk track around it. So I'm like, okay, well, we're in the right area. And so, but he starts looking. At the time, the kid is like about, I think he was like 13 years old, still a young kid learning how to hunt, all that stuff. So I'm like, wow, I'm gonna sneak off over here and take me a dookie. So I I sneak off, and they kind of didn't know. I didn't think they knew that I had left, and I I'll be back. So I walk over and get behind this tree, and I'm doing my thing, and you just get that spidey sense, right? So I have this big giant bear track in my mind, and I'm like, dude, something's something's watching me, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I'm squatting down. It's cold. It's freezing. I'm looking around my white legs. Just I'm like, oh, this is a terrible position to be in. And I'm like, but I know, I just feel it. Something is watching me. And so I start panning, nice and slow. And then all of a sudden, I see this tree, and out of the side of the tree, I see my buddy's head, his kid's head, and he's watching me take a dookie, and I'm like, hey! So so,
Uh,
dude, I yell at him, and he's like, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing. Oh, dude, it's hilarious. So, anyway, that's what was watching me, dude. So, that's it. I thought that would be kind of a little different for you. So,
no, that's a good one, man. That's funny. Man. That's
no
why I like
animals.
hunting,
Yeah, no animals were harmed for that one.
dude. I was out with my buddy one time, and he had a shotgun, and he's taking a dump, and he freaking shot a dove flying over his head.
1000% believe it. Yep.
Dude, like every time you drop your drawers, you gotta be ready. Have your rifle near you. You know what I mean?
You have
My
to.
kid didn't. My kid didn't shoot a elk. He did shoot an elk, but they would have doubled up because he was taking a piss and left his rifle laying on the ground or on his pack, and my buddy was with him. I was with my other kid, and these elk come down. He's like, Drew, Drew, Drew. My kid's name is Drew as well, and Drew's like over there with his freaking dick in his hand and no gun. Like, dude, you bring your rifle wherever you go. And David ended up shooting an elk, and it was a whole herd because like you said, when they herd up, you get 20 of them coming in, and it was like a 75-yard chip shot, right across this canyon. And he just had his rifle, and they had been there for like 3 hours. You know what I mean? He left for like 30 seconds. As soon as he left, dude.
Sounds about right,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Yeah, never a dull moment. It's pretty awesome. We're blessed to be able to do it, and I'm fortunate to do what I do and to help people do what they love. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, good pod, man. All right, so Bo. Oh no,
Yeah, the Bow Hitch.
Sid,
We're right now. We're at thebowhitch.com.
BowHitch.com. How do we find you guys?
Yeah,
Let's do that whole
Instagram,
thing.
Instagram and Facebook is at the Bow Hitch. I do 90% of our stuff on Instagram. If it transfers over to Facebook, then fantastic. Sometimes it doesn't make it, and so be it. I'm a family man too. Work full time, so I get what I can done onto the social stuff. But you send me a DM, I will get back to you. Right now, our website is thebowhitch.com. We will be transferring that over to simplysavagesolutions.com. But either one will send you to the Bow Hitch page right now. And that's it, man. We grateful to be here. Love learning from you guys that are a few years ahead of me. And again, congratulations on your success and on a killer product, dude. I've seen it, I've held it, I've touched it. I will get one. You freaking nailed it, like you said. You when you make the product, it sells itself. Kudos to you for doing just that.
That's what she said. Held it. All right. Good pod, dude.
Nailed it.
Good pod, dude. Let's do it
You
again.
too. All right, brother. Thank you.